Walking back into the arena for our second match of the evening session. Craig Waddingham takes on Connor Jones. Craig Waddingham, always one of the favourites for any tournament he enters. Started the season ranked 8, still provisionally 8. Always there or thereabouts. No massive results so far this season. He's had a semi-final in the Masters. That's his best showing so far. But a player that can so easily snap off any tournament. Connor Jones, one of the newer professionals. Not the same CV obviously as Craig Waddingham, but a very dangerous player. Very sort of all or nothing player. Some days he can look amazing. Some days he can be a bit inconsistent, but it's pretty much the case with anybody that's ever played the game. It's only the real elite that are able to turn up with a standard every day. We'll switch in the commentary box. Tony Holgate joins me for this one.
Good evening, Mark. How are we?
Good evening. Well, we're enjoying a very good standard of pool today, really, aren't we? This is match 8, but you wouldn't really say we've seen any bad matches so far.
Yeah, well, I sort of sat across from you and JMO while the Ronan McCarthy Ryan Pisani match was going on. That was good stuff there from Ronan. Big Bones Jones. Well, that's a fair shirt.
Yeah, it's a strong shirt game, isn't it, that he's coming with? He's really lent into this nickname. Well, that's exactly what you want, really. Having a nickname comes naturally to some players and not at all to some others. But some have really embraced it. Craig Waddingham often used to just go by Wad, but I think he's moved on to the Silver Sniper as his nickname of choice for this season.
Better than Wad, I think. Certainly more colour into it. The Silver Sniper.
In a way, he's in that. I mean, I was talking at the beginning of the show about how much he has won and how dangerous he is, but he's another one of those players you almost can't understand how he's not winning every tournament. He just looks so good amongst the balls.
Yeah, fabulous potter, Craig Waddingham. Yeah, you can make a case for quite a few players. I think you feel that it should, you think they should win every time they play. Just try to get into that yellow and red there.
There's been a lot of amazing runs on the history of Ultimate Pool. I still think Craig Waddingham's first 4 tournaments are right up there. Turned down pro status in the first year, 2021, of Ultimate Pool because he wasn't able to attend a few of the events, so very fairly said that it wasn't right to take a pro spot. Was available for the last 2 events of the season, so played in 2 events one weekend and then 2 events the next weekend, 2 semi-finals and 2 wins, and smashed his way into promotion from the Challenger event. He only played half the season and still finished as the #1 ranked player. Just a very natural cueist. He always seems to play the right shot and just makes the actual cueing part of the game look so effortless. Generally a massive fan of the safety game, but you see the position of the balls. I think also against Connor Jones, who is one of the more attacking players, there probably is a case for throwing in the odd safety. Well, that's a bit unlucky. He wasn't going to love the position he was left in, even if the ball had stayed on the table, but to come in at that angle, probably didn't quite think he'd pot
I think
it.
it's worked out better for Connor Jones. I think if he had to fire at that yellow, he's going to be moving something. Quite rightly, Waddingham plays the waiting game, now forcing Jones to shift this yellow away.
Yeah, there's a lot of upside in playing that safety shot because his opponent either hits the yellow and opens it up or misses like he has, and now Craig's got this ball that he deliberately put over the middle which he can use to play the cannon. That's a pretty good shot. I mean, there are different ways you could have played that harder, but played like that, you always knew that the red was going to be open. As long as he had some kind of shot, he's such a good potter. He's always going to fancy this ball at the top of the table. It's a big weapon he has, because he's such a good potter. He doesn't have to play really pinpoint position.
Nice pot there from Craig. Just holding a cue ball now. Had to get rid of that ball into the centre. Screw all the way back up the table. And onto the red he goes. Nicely cued. And this for 1-0.
Yeah, that's been a good clearance, made to look quite easy, and obviously he was in a position where he was able to bide his time, play the safety shots just to promote a couple of balls.
Yeah, I think sort of tomorrow mid-morning, early afternoon, it will start to, well, tomorrow morning definitely taking shape, and then you're going to see a few big games. I think around 1-2 o'clock will be the defining moments in these group stages as we see it all unfold, and we see what we've got left in the last 64 mark.
Yeah, and it's going to be a real switch at that point, because it goes from being not very pressured for the people that have qualified fairly easily to suddenly everything being very pressured, straight knockout, and you don't want to undermine all the work you've done up until that point.
Match clocks as well. Also the 15 seconds of shot will be in play as well in matches when we get to the last 10 minutes. So that's all to look forward to tomorrow afternoon. We shall see the finish of the groups.
This match we're watching here is from Group 12, which Craig Waddingham is currently planted firmly at the top of the table. He's played 2 matches, won 2 matches. Big positive frame difference as well. It's been a pretty easy day so far. Beat Cleve Thompson 6-1 in his first match, and Liam White 6-4 in the next one.
Well, that's a good win against Liam White, because last night when I was here, Liam was having a practice with Gary Clark. He was out there, and I have to say, I mean, both were playing very well, but Liam looked real fine fettle on the table.
Connor Jones got off to a good start, beat Chris Hall 6-5, and then lost a decider against Connor Templeman 6-5. Would probably have been enough to see him qualified, so he's going to have to deal with that frustration, and then immediately comes back on against Craig Waddingham, which is not the easiest way to get yourself back in.
He's gone a bit too far there, Mark, onto that one into the red into the middle. He wanted to leave this a lot straighter so he could just roll it in and just naturally go behind the red to play down the rail. And now, as you can see, he's got a negative angle there, which is sending the cue ball towards the corner bag, or the other side of the red anyway. She calls this extension. This is the most important shot for Craig in this frame. Well, long red down the rail past the yellow.
This is a horrible shot. It barely looks like a ball passes that yellow.
There's a game earlier today, and I don't know if it was Jordan Shepp or somebody played a ball straight down this rail, and doesn't even go, does he? He's not playing it, he's going to cross double. I think I'd have made an attempt to try and go in the bottom right at least. I'd have tried to pot that. It's not a bad lead, but it's an easy snooker now really for Connor Jones. I think he's left some stuck out there, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you can see what Craig was thinking, because if he goes for the double, he's probably always going to leave a pot if he misses it, and it was low percentage, but always felt like he was going to get into this kind of trouble. Can he dig down on this enough to pot the ball and keep the cue ball on the table? rare when you see him miss a pot in open play. It's about as difficult a shot as he could have been left, but it's still almost a surprise when he misses it.
He's almost played that too well. He'd have liked to nudge it just over the middle bag, and he's plonked it on the rail. So he's still got plenty of work to do here, Connor Jones.
Yeah, he couldn't really avoid that cannon, could he? But it turned out great. I'm not sure about this shot either. Because the problem is with playing that, you've then got to come back for the difficult one. He's going to have to just play this as a double now. If he plays the white straight up and down the centre of the table when he puts the one along the top cushion.
He can cut this in at the top and kick into the yellow, but it's got to miss the red. And that's the thing.
I'm surprised he's tried to do that. That didn't look an easy shot to play.
But he's just rolling into this ball now and playing the snooker.
Craig's going to want to hit this too hard. He's going to be pretty happy with the way the balls are tied up at the moment.
Well, he's not hit it at all.
Connor's going to have to play another safety. This time he's going to run into the yellow, bump the red out the way and leave the white absolutely frozen. And now Craig has got to hit this ball. The last time it wasn't fatal not to hit it, but if he gives Connor ball in hand, the frame's going to be gone.
We didn't want to leave the red there because now Connor Jones has got a shot to nothing. If you like, you play this long yellow down into the bottom corner. Craig's red's pretty safe up there.
I was going to say, the one thing you probably don't want to do is hit that too hard and risk the yellow rattling and going away.
He's having a look now to see if he can double the red down there, knock the yellow in and leave the red covering the bag, play the loss of turn. But I mean, wow, it'd have to be absolutely bang on a dead weight.
Yeah, Connor played that well. The fact he got so close to the pot meant that it stayed over the pocket.
Well, he's opted for the snooker. Is there room just to, you can see there with that camera angle, he's going to have to bend this slightly into the rail, so he'll strike down with left hand side on the cue ball. Well, he thought he could just play with side naturally and just flick it in. He needed to bend it slightly.
And this has been a big turnaround. There was a moment where Connor absolutely had this frame. Well, he had that shot to nothing down the left rail.
It's Craig playing the two cushions here. Cut this in, cue ball off, side rail over the other side rail and back for the blow. He's going to screw down. How about three cushions instead? It's got a bit frisky, but I think Craig Waddingham will accept that double. Yes, I'd never thought for 1 second that Waddingham would miss that. That's right up his alleyway, isn't it, that sort of shot?
Comfortable position in this match, 2-0 up, and definitely looking the more confident of the players so far. It's not too much of a problem either way, the result. If Craig wins this, he's definitely already qualified. He's in good shape already. Connor's already won a match, so even if he loses this, he's by no means out of the tournament.
I think Craig thought he couldn't miss that ball because it's very similar to the black he just doubled in the previous frame.
Well, I tell you, or rather it that way round, because he's left a messy layout, whereas if he missed the black in the previous frame, it wouldn't have been so funny.
Yeah, when you looked at this group and you saw the standout players were Craig Waddingham and Liam White, and then Craig beating Liam, and that really puts him in a very strong position to top the group, especially if he gets over the line here against Connor Jones. And there you can sort of see this shaping up, and that'll be one of your group winners that will go in the draw for tomorrow.
Quite a close group below that. There's Craig Waddingham up top with 2 wins, and 4 players, Chris Hall, Liam White, Connor Jones and Connor Templeman, all tied on 1 win at the moment.
But how many have they played?
Everyone's played 2 so far.
Have they?
The only person adrift of the action at the moment is Cleve Thompson, who's yet to get in trouble as scorer. He's just about to start a match against Liam White. Connor Templeman and Chris Hall. Hall is 5-4 up.
Of course, Cleve's also been away in the US, played in the Kansas Open, and he played in the first one as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he played in Louisiana. Actually looked better. He hasn't had the best of runs. He's had shown glimpses over on the Pro Series, but I think if anything, he probably looked like he was enjoying the US game more than the UK one. A very scrappy frame, this one.
Well, Craig's trying to unload all these bullets from his guns onto Connor Jones. But this is the first real opening of this frame now. And it comes for Connor Jones.
Yeah, it's quite a nice spot to get left, because the plant he had along the top rail was a sort of big pocket. He didn't really need it as it happened, but just guaranteed he got the first shot. I don't think he's going to be able to get really close. This is one of these ones, if you try and put too much pace in, you can create too much angle. So he's decided just to settle for distance, and it is some distance, this. I mean, this table runs as true as any you'll ever play on, but still, there's a lot of distance between cue ball and object ball. Oh, that's a good shot.
Great shot.
That's a really good bit of cueing.
And on the scoreboard goes Connor Jones.
We've got a very big break. The ball does eventually drop in.
Sort of cued across that one.
Yeah, I mean, when you compare that to the ball he managed to pot in the last frame, that was a much easier shot. Not easy, but one you would have expected him to get.
It's quite easy done. What he just cued across the cue ball then and shunted it into the knuckle. Maybe played it a little bit quick.
Yeah, I mean, I think he is somebody that when he misses a ball, he can sometimes look careless. He quite often looks like he's playing quite fast. But then that's also what's entertaining about him.
Well, Waddingham's no slouches either. He likes to get on with it and attack. Well judged off that knuckle. It's a yellow ball that's nearest the right-hand rail at the top there. That's the major problem for Craig.
certainly somebody to go after a finish without a clear plan, so he obviously feels like he can dislodge the difficult one off the penultimate ball.
Yeah, he wants a little angle here, and if he can roll this in and just slide half ball into the other yellow, so he pushes it onto the rail and the cue ball sort of unfolds behind it and leave the shot down the rail. So both yellows in the same pocket, if he can do it. Just got it a little thick. It was a tricky shot to play because you're playing it, you have to be very precise that it's sort of like 3/4 half the ball and just slide it gently. And because of the angle he had, he played it with a slight sort of bit of stun on it, and he's just hit it a bit heavy. Caught it thick and hit it heavy.
Also didn't actually have a lot of space when you saw from the camera angle behind. The pot itself was quite narrow. Couldn't afford to take any risk with it. So now Connor should have the real upper hand here. Anytime you've got 7 balls on your table and your opponent's got 1, should be in a great position to take advantage of them. Well, I don't know about that. I think the priority there was not to leave a 1-cushion escape, and particularly a 1-cushion escape with some possibility of potting the ball. You'd expect Craig to go relatively close to this. Well, in fact, may be able to dig in behind it off the right cushion and pot it in the opposite middle. He's got a couple of pots he can go after. I don't think, I don't want to be critical, but that was quite a good enough snooker from the position he was in.
He gave that a fair go, and look when put the cue ball down the table, but then if he'd hit it in the correct spot to pot it, would the cue ball gone that far down? I don't think so.
This time, not really so much for Connor to think about. He's got his balls quite nice. Obviously, the safety option's there if he needs it, but first and foremost, he's just going to try and pot these. This is kind of what he needed, just to get his arm going. Pot a few fairly straightforward balls.
A little bit hampered, but it won't bother him. Just make sure he gets the weight right when he cuts this in.
Yeah, I think his left hand made that shot much easier. So the natural side. Well, and a match where Craig Waddingham looked like the stronger player at the beginning and could have gone further ahead. Bad looking break, but not good in terms of outcome. So we had a pretty good reaction. Caught them fairly straight, but some days that's just not enough. Yellows aren't in a bad pattern here. There's only 2 at the top of the table. Don't think they're quite a plant, but he's got other balls near them if he needs it. The yellow and the red that are tied up together near the right centre, safe from that angle didn't go, but it can be quite deceptive. I suspect he may just be able to flick the yellow past. Well, that's an issue for another day, because having missed that ball, Craig's got an unexpected early chance. So he's going to play the loss of turn here. And that could speed the frame up considerably. That's opened things up. Still a couple of clusters, but now if Craig comes back to the table, he'll have attacking options, which he didn't a moment ago. few consecutive loss of turns. So Craig has to play from where he is. That wasn't a foul. Not a bad position, but he has still got the one red tied up next to the yellow on the baulk cushion. Can't pot it or double it from where it is. He's going to have to find some way into it.
If he had a bit more angle, they could play the loss of turn and knock away the other ball and put the cue ball behind the red.
Choice of shot. He can't play it from here, but he could try and come back for it. Well, interesting choice. Knew he was going to be leaving some balls. Decided just to promote his. The same issue, of course, applies for Connor. He's got a ball involved in that group at the top. Is Craig figuring that it's not really that bad of a thing if Connor does go for something? I'm not sure if he was trying to leave an angle to get into the cluster. He hasn't quite done it from where he is. Well, that's one of the problem balls out of the way. He's now going to have to pot the ball bottom left and leave an angle on the one to the right centre. Try and get into that cluster. Too straight.
It looks a bit straight to me. If anything, he's got the slight angle, which means he's going to have to punch this at real pace. Of course, when you play at that sort of pace into a middle bag as well, they tend to spit out. Didn't get the cue ball near it either, so now he's in a bit of trouble, and Craig will lay the snooker.
Yeah, Craig's very happy with this, because if Connor goes for the one over the right middle, he'd be perfectly happy if he pots it. Every chance he might knock it a bit safer.
Well, that's a handy shot.
It's as good an outcome as he could achieve from where he is. Craig would love to be able to do is play some kind of loss of turn shot onto that remaining yellow, and then.
Well, he can. He could play thin off the ball on the right hand side rail and get the cue ball to come back and knock that yellow in. Not easy, but it would have been a very good shot if he could make it. Now you feel that what Connor would try and do is maybe double kiss the yellow to bring it out a little bit. I don't know. If you bring it out too far, you're leaving game up, aren't you? So it's a funny one, this. But it has to play. You can't just play the other one. Ooh, red first.
Gesturing that, rolled off. That was a tough one, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a very hard shot to play so slowly. And now a great opening for Craig Waddingham to get back in front.
It's kind of how Craig wanted this frame to turn out. He deliberately left his opponent a few chances at things. Sort of happy to play this slightly cagey game.
He's wasted little time knocking these balls in. Looks very confident when he gets in amongst the borders as Craig Waddingham.
Connor Jones breaks off in frame 6. Oh, cue ball straight in the corner.
Craig straight out of his seat. Yeah, bit loose there from Connor Jones. Only reprieve is for Connor Jones is that there's nothing particularly. It's not an easy finish on either suit.
No, this is quite a tough choice. I mean, you think He's going to favour the reds because of the position of the 8 ball. It's got a bit of work to do at the top of the table. That's a nice shot.
Stick him on the cushion behind the red now. He's gone through the gap.
An easy snooker to play, but disappointed to have left a straight pot. Although, much like the last frame, how much do you mind your opponent having a go at these? Even if he somehow finds a way for all the yellows, he's got work to do to get any kind of shot on the 8 ball. This is what Cotton Jones does. He comes to the table in a position you think there's nothing on. Does he elect to move the 8 ball here? He's got a good angle, but won't really know where the white's going.
Ooh.
Well, it's all about if you can see the ball to the top left corner, this has worked out brilliantly. If not, he's got a problem. Just needs to screw back, just to get a good contact on this, just screw past the red.
Well, did all the hard work. A couple of spectacular shots. And then just jawed that yellow. I don't know if you can see all of the pocket, you know, with that yellow. Well, given the benefit of the doubt there, I think he had to squeeze that a little bit, and it's just caught the jaw.
Yeah, I agree. I think if he's got
Oh,
a
hello.
pocket, what is that?
Where's that come from? He's looked at the bottom of his cue. Wow.
Well, that's a once-a-season miss from
Yeah,
Craig
that's
Waddingham.
incredible miss. I was just about to say it was going to be a 2-frame lead now for Waddingham, and then that happened. Well, that's not great either, is it?
No, he was a bit nervous of that red. I mean, he could have played it a bit firmer and tried to swing the cue ball around. Decided just to try and play the slow cannon off it and
Well, you've got to
leave
play
the long straight one.
Got to play this dead weight now. Very softly anyway. What on earth is that? That's a crushing shot. That's unbelievable. What a shot from Connor Jones. Oof. That's got a sting. Wouldn't you know it? Followed by a dry break.
Yeah, it feels like the wheels are coming off slightly for Craig. I mean, he's basically played quite well, but it just feels like a match which he could now lose, which is not something that would have seemed possible a while ago.
No, like you say, it's looked like, you know, that Craig's been the dominant force here, and it's 3-all.
Look how much more confident Connor looks now.
Well, after crashing that last yellow in a second ago, well, wouldn't you be confident?
Yeah, I mean, he's demonstrated 2 sublime pieces of cueing. Yellow down the left rail and then that one. Played for this ball the shot before, but hasn't quite got the right angle. He's got a better angle this time.
Well, he needs to free the black as well.
It's all about this couple of shots.
He's going to play off the black. No.
The black does go long to the top left. I think he's now just going to have to commit to that.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other choice. Well, there isn't any other choice now. Mind you, after his last yellow, might belt this in and knock the red out of the way. The black can sit on in the middle. No, he's rightly followed your advice, Mark.
He's played a good shot there.
He has.
Like, this was a missable shot at any kind of distance, but got as close as he could have done.
Waddingham has been punished.
They'll still be in contention.
Well, that was a big belt of a break, and nothing got in the way of a ball on the side of Connor Jones there. Look at the balls moving around the table. I can't believe a ball hasn't gone in off that break.
I wouldn't say anyone's been finding the breaks super easy so far today.
Well, red's are the better colour, but it's getting the first one in the pocket. He's taking on this long red into the bottom corner. He is, and he's got it. What a shot there from Craig Waddingham. That's a brave shot, but it is, or should be, a frame winner. You missed that ball and you're 5-3 down, trust me. But now just look at the reds. And this will go a long way to erasing the memory of this what can only be described as a silly red that he's missed 2 frames ago. And I'm purely just say because I think he was going that quick round the table. In his own mind, he was probably potting the black, which was coming 3 balls later when he just didn't even look at it. Gave the shot no respect, if you like. I bet he doesn't do it again in this match. But because Craig's a quick player, you know, and I've done it myself, and lots of other players that play at pace will tend to sort of look at the easy balls and think, well, I'll just get rid of that one and get on with the next shot, and it can come and bite you on the backside.
When you lose matches, you quite often think of the difficult shots you've missed, but if you're honest with yourself, it is sometimes those simple ones that have led to the problem. Chance to regroup though. There's plenty more matches to come, so wow. I'm tempted to pot that thick, but almost potted it too thick.
Yeah, that's nicely done there by Craig. Long red into the bottom corner now. Roll the cue ball through. And then goes to black, and we're back level once again. 4-4.
Ooh, so the last ball rolling finds the pocket. He was going to come up dry there, and then just the white's help there just to guide that yellow. When we started out today, I felt we might see a few one-sided matches, but every match after the last one has ended up going close.
Yeah, there's been hardly any, especially on this main table. Like you say, Cousins winning 6-0 in the opener. Everything else has been a bit of a slog for everybody. The game's been great. The drama's been out there, but it's just nobody can get away from their opponent.
So we see Craig miss a second red of the match.
Yeah.
More difficult one that time, of course.
Yeah, that wasn't anything like the red 2 or 3 frames ago.
Oh,
Well, I'll tell you what, that one takes some beating as well.
That's an extraordinary miss.
That's 1-1.
Oh, let's look at this. Just pushed it hard. I mean, it was a combination of the line and the pace.
Yeah, puzzled look there from Connor Jones. How on earth have I missed that?
Suddenly, having made the mistake himself, Craig's coming back to the table in a much better position.
It's amazing because they've both knocked in some incredibly big pots. You know, under pressure. Go back to Connor Jones's slapped yellow off, you know, cushed up length of the table. I think you can't dream how you can miss the ball he's missed there. And the way these two have battled during this match, you wouldn't rule out another twist, Mark, would you?
Yeah, you really wouldn't. I mean, right now you're not feeling very confident about anybody clearing up. They've almost been better with the more difficult chances. It's been
Well, they have.
the routine ones that have eluded them.
That's a fair comment, yeah.
We're seeing Connor play a great ball down the left-hand side cushion. This one will be a bit easier for Craig when he gets to it, but I don't think he's going to be able to get super close.
Just a little glance at the clock there. He does want to be on the buzzer playing it. Great pot.
Oh, that's a really good shot.
And like you say, those shots have been played immaculately by both of them. This is a big out from Waddingham. Just when he needed it most.
Yeah, it's a big moment in the match. 5-4. The way this match has gone, you'd be happy to have that lead. The best players in the World Championship going back 14 years. He did run in the 2010 World Championships. That shows you how long he's been at the top of the game. Oh, cue ball looked like it might just hang on, but to Connor's despair, it's gone down.
Waddingham leapt out of his chair there when he saw that cue ball go.
To be fair, it was straight into the pocket, even though it almost caught the jaw. It wasn't a great shot when it was anywhere near there.
Connor Jones now shaking his head, wondering where it all went wrong, because that missed yellow that proved very costly in the last frame was punished to the max by Craig Waddingham. So they've had one bizarre miss each. They've potted some incredible balls between them in this match, but this is a real chance now for Craig Waddingham to get over the line. Keeps himself in pole position in the group as well. Doesn't want too much angle, that'll do. Take the long red first, down into the bottom right. Just use the yellow ball to hold the cue ball next to it, and then play red into top, red into middle, black in right corner. No, he's changed into play this. He feels he can get better position on the red. I don't know. I think it was pretty much the same. But both your balls are at the top of the table. This has to be get the weight correct, and that should do him. And this black for a 6-4 win for Craig Waddingham.
And the 6-4 win is locked up. The scoreboard doesn't really tell the full story there. If you just hear that result, you'd think that it could have been a fairly straightforward win, but as you see from Craig Waddingham's face as he goes out the arena, I think he's actually going to be pretty relieved to get over the line in that one.